with this development in my project. After that, I joined the MTech and I had developed my project with seller login and other stuff at 2017. That was my MTech final year. That was the 2017 was the totally tragic year for me. My dad was the only source of income for my family. At that time, I lost my dad at that time. Unfortunately, I had decided that my career is going to be my project. That was the only plan I had made at that time. The entire income has been stopped due to this unfortunate incident, and so. But I don't want to continue to be a job seeker. So I made my decision. Even I got my dad's government job also, but I don't. I'm not convinced in that job. So I had fixed that I want to be in this platform. So I need investments, right, to develop this project. Um, and there is no passive income even for my family, like rental buildings and any other stuff like that. And 2017 was my most hated year in my life. So I can able to pay my even I can't able to pay my college fees also at MTech final year. At that time, I don't want to lose my project also, but there is no funding to take care of my family and to develop my project further. Uh, at that time, I had spoke that how to make money through my startup, and which was at Coimbatore. Some mobile shops collected smartphones from customers to exchange offer from Flipkart. That deal made me to generate revenue. So I had went to that refurbished smartphone shops, and I had collected that phones, and I back to my village and I resell to my local store owners. And within a year, I think so, within next 6 months, I had made 15 lakhs in that refurbished phone selling. And so after that, I had invested that entire amount into that B2B segment in 2018. So still now I'm holding my 100% share on my company. I never went to any investors. So the making money is somewhat quite easy to me due to this entire process which I had done before. Money without funding to make money is somewhat so difficult, right? So, so this is what I'm do. I done. So it was easy to convince. Within 6 months, I had made 15 lakhs. So the convincing my family was so much easy, pretty easy for me.
I think the statement "Jahan jaan hai, wahan jahan hai" makes a big deal when an entrepreneur is so so much into his work. I think dedication and persuasion. I I think these are the two words that I can relate to you. Excuse me. Excuse me. So, Arvind, it is so wonderful to know about your journey. Unfortunately, that year was also bad for me, as I also experienced the same loss during the same year. So I can relate to you, though I'm much older than you are. But that loss is very, very huge. Emotionally, you tend to lose your stability when that support is not there. I do understand that part. Uh, Coming to your work, um, there are very few who actually cater in the international market to who cater to B2, B2B online uh, business portals. How did you come up with that kind of a setup? B2C, almost everybody is providing, but B2B is something that is very novel in your app. And how did you come up with that?
Yes, B2C. There are a lot of people are there in B2C market, but we can count the B2B competitors among with who are traveling with us. So after this, I was watching by my friend. He's older than 70, I think so. So he had a shop at Chennai. So he searched for new kind of products, home appliance like that products from north side of Noida. So, but he can't able to find the products. But there are a lot of manufacturers at Noida, right? So he can't able to place in order through that and all. So that is a we find that there is a problem between that reseller and that founder manufacturers of that company. So once I had onboarded after through BNI and I had reached to Noida and reached to a lot of manufacturers at Noida. And there are a lot of startup communities over there, even like CISAs are also there. It's a South Indian startup over which is running at Noida. And through that, I had connected with a lot of manufacturers there. And there are, and I had we made some data. We had collected some data from them. And they say that marketing is the main lag for them. So we had created a structure that they can post their products at bulk quantity and sellers, resellers who can purchase from them the bulk quality and they can able to resell that. So this what we figure out and we stand for that using this DNA forum. And now we are connected with a lot of startup community, more than 25 community I think so, and we are working with them. And now we are moreover connected with 172 stores, and we have completed moreover a lot of B2G also. We have completed business to government orders also in past 3 months I think so. And before we had before 2022, we have just been in website through only online website. And 2022 February we had launched our mobile application also. Please, anyone if you wish to join with us, you can download from there also. Uh, this is how we are standing.
Rahul, compared to the applications which are already existing, you were very new in the market. How would you establish yourself with the people? How did you establish that connect with the people to
Uh,
build yourself?
it was so easy for us because we had named it with the trend Make in India and One Indian Make. So we are somehow we are connected with that. So it was so easy for us. So we are traveling with that trend. If for young entrepreneurs, so be a connect with that trend and you just travel into with that flow you can able to travel with so long as you can. This is how we can able to travel. And if we connect, if any manufacturers know us, and they will also if we just say that they are coming from only that they are asking about us, what you are doing. This was some strategy. So we are planned and played.
You just mentioned something very interesting, B2G. Can you please throw some light on that?
Yeah, B2G is nothing but it's a business to government. We are collecting products from manufacturers and we are throwing to the government. And we had completed the Ahmedabad orders and Goa government orders. Even we are trying to force that into some global government orders like into Ethiopia and European countries also. We are trying and we had exposed our product at Dubai Expo within a couple of weeks back, I think so. So and this B2G is completely entirely new to India. So that space also still has been not used still now. And internet is an newborn baby in India. So we can utilize in various sector. I think so. This is what we are doing.
That's very interesting. I think that clicked a question in my mind. As you entered the arena of international business, um, uh, how are you able to mitigate the risk which the entire world since 2020 has been facing? Not the current Ukraine. I'll come to Ukraine crisis in some time. Uh, uh, the risk which was supply chain risk which was created, you are managing a supply chain business, right? How did you mitigate the risk to grow to the extent that you are? You did mention that 2020 was a difficult period for you, but still, how did you mitigate that when you entered the international market? Because there is the costs of international supply chain is rising, and because of the COVID waves, it has caused a lot of issues. So how did you manage to make it?
So at that time, we stopped our shippings. We had stopped that shipping for around for 6 months, and we completely back to R&D. So we made some researches how we can able to reach our new clients. COVID had given us a lot of new clients at that time, and so we had called them and we asked them individually what are the type of products you need and how possibly we can able to give you as soon as possible, and they given us the term policies and delivery dues and all. So after getting those details from them, and we specifically target the manufacturers and inside the Tamil Nadu. So at that time we just placed our stickers from Make in India, and we traveled using that passes to to see a lot of manufacturers. At that time, a lot of manufacturers are not into business due to this COVID. So at that time, we had supported them that we can able to give you support by delivering the products to resell purpose. And so we had that huge discussion. Even we had slept in petrol bunks also at that time, because hotels are being closed on that time. So we worked through that in R&D at that time, and we have utilized that time for next developing sectors. We use that time as an improving stage.
As you just mentioned about hotels being closed, uh, and you sleeping on petrol pumps too.
Yeah.
Uh, what is the size of your team?
So now we are around with 25 members, and before that, before 2020, 2020, it was about 4 to 5%, and
And
so
what is the gender ratio? Do you have a gender ratio, or is it all male driven?
so it's somewhat confidential on that. Mm, so
Okay.
even so, first second barrier for me is communication language. I was first of all I was sent to Tamil medium schools at my village, and after that, to breaking that language is my huge thing in that. So now we are overcoming over these hurdles.
So, see, this is a very important question. You may feel that you may feel that you may feel that I am breaching some confidential space. No, I'm asking you a very important question, because uh, you see there is a big resignation wave which hit the world over. It's not just one part of the world, but world over. So how whom are you employing? Means I'm not asking um, what kind of skill sets. I'm
Yeah,
asking you, are you engaging with the people who are from coming from uh, your background setups, people who are enthusiastic.
yeah. I'll track that. So I think so. You are not audible. So you're on mute. Ma'am, you're on mute.
Sorry. So my question was, are you recruiting people from tier 2, tier 3 cities or tier 4 cities also, so that your team can become a bit more stronger, because dedication is a bit more with those people?
So this was an interesting one, and moreover, requiring also plays a major role in cost cutting in so to save that revenue. So I played in some interesting role, which was inspired by Zoho director Sridhar Vembusa. So we made some requirements from villages, the people, the young ones who completed their engineering and they can't able to scale it through Infosys or CTS. So from that sector we had required, and so we made them as a skilled labor in like invoice graphics designer or else to communicate with clients, and that part we made that to should be in a cost cutting way. So in tier one cities to fund that the employees' salary is somewhat huge compared to recovering from villages. So we can able to give 3% salary. So we did like that, and now we become as an 25 members, and we have powerful team. So likewise, and after and one more thing, I'll give some incentives to encourage them also by every month end. So this made us to win as a team.
It's wonderful, wonderful, because you are just not employing people, but also employing people who need a job. So it's sustaining yourself and also sustaining people who are belonging to places which require sustenance. That's wonderful. So Arvind, I would just like to know another thing from you. When you know you approached businesses, though they were in need, you mentioned that business was not running during 2020. You all did a lot of visits. You all did your R&D during that period. How could you establish the confidence, because you're too young and they are seasoned businessmen? How did you establish that confidence when you even went to northern places where you have a major language barrier, right? Hindi is difficult for people in Tamil Nadu. I understand that. I relate to it because I am associated to it. So how did you uh, overcome that barrier during such a difficult and challenging period? Because it was it was a challenge for everybody. And a young boy just around 25, 26, how at that period, how did you overcome this hurdle?
I just hired the language known people. that was that was the thing. So just I had that, and so first of all, I want to give confidence to my employees that they are working in a unique company. In that manner, I had boost up with them. So there are some taglines inside our office that we are the India's first B2B and B2C segment in India. So we are the only one trading company in India who handles both segments. Even now we are entered into B2G also. So like that, we are the only one in India who are handling B2B, B2C, and B2G trade portal at once within in one single mobile application. So, so I first of all I want to give confidence to my employees, and they will after that confidence level increased means they will work individually. That was the key plan. After that, I simply hired the language hired language people from north and south. So they done their job very perfectly. It was quite interesting and efficient and cost cutting. So everything in this unique segments.
How did you build my question was, again, I repeat my question, how did you build the trust people with whom you did business in a tough period?
So justly that was quite easy, and we told that we are coming from Make in India, and so we are supporting Indian manufacturers, and we did that.
Wonderful, wonderful. Did you approach the government and tell them that we are promoting Make in India and we need your support?
Yes, government approached us once we uploaded our profile at Startup India. So once we had uploaded that, and we got that 3 years tax exception, right? So at that time, government had contacted us, and they reached us, and they recognized us as an influencer for Indian products, and even they send circulars for some companies, and that was a great help from our government. And so likewise, we had held, and now we are planning to work with government also. Maybe from 2023, we will be with government to push Indian products to at global level. It's just a name. Only Indian make is a name. It all brought us. Everything was created by that name.
I think you're a very smart young boy, who has business acumen in his blood and
Thank you.
in his genetics. Otherwise, it would have been difficult. But yes, I feel that you have played it very smart, and kudos to you for that, because you see, there are many technically skilled people who lack management skills.
Mhm.
But I feel that you, even though you have come from a challenged background, even though you have come from less exposed background with respect to business and management, you're from technical background, there hardly any management training that you have had. You have wonderful management skills. That's applaudable, because I come from uh, teaching background.
Okay.
So I used to be a part of management training skill development and teaching uh, fraternity. So I can see that so wonderfully blooming in you. It's so wonderful, and you know encouraging to meet young people like you, who are just not looking like this. You're running a race, but you're looking at everything. That's very important. I think you are mitigating risk because you are looking at everything. Though you might have faced all sorts of issues, you might have faced losses also in some phases, and that never die spirit of yours is what is enchanting. So here we have Mr. Rahul, who is such a wonderful personality, whom we have today here. And you have given me so much of inspiration today, Rahul, that I feel that even I can do something in my life.
I just use the situations around me. That's what I do. I think so. I used to Make in India. So I used that COVID situations. I used my situation. The entire credits for this should go for my employees. So this one.
I think being humble is also a very good quality that you are carrying with you, and that's very important in employee management, because most of the big names in the industry, be it the uh, Kirloskars, be it the Tatas, they all have been known for their humble towards their employee management. That skill, I think, is applaudable. Thank you very much for carrying it with you at such a young age, because it requires a lot of grooming to get it. And I think your parents have done a wonderful job in raising you. It
Thank you.
comes
Thank
from
you.
there. So, Rahul, coming to what we were discussing, the government support that you have got, was it the central government which supported you or the state government?
No, it was supported by Central. So from the Ministry of Industry as Secretary, Subramaniam sir has supported us. And now we are pushing our mobile application to each and every state through circulars, and we are taking next new steps, wide steps, and so we wish to be an unicorn company 2025. This was our next vision, and maybe moreover we are going to achieve 1,000 orders per day by 2024, I think so. And so we are hardly working for it. And so we are introducing a new segments also by next two within next 2 months. It's B2G. So this is what we are doing.
So, Rahul, um, why haven't you approached state government also into integrating your work?
First of all, we should be that so much high, right? Um, so even still now, I had not went to any investors to fund my startup because I know to how to fund my startup. Even I just take pictures, I just take videos, and I'll upload to stock photos, stock images, and stock Android. And even I did my freelancing at night times after my startup days. And so from there, I had raised a lot of money and I had invested in this to not only to government. So we should not reach investors still until our startup to create self-sustainable revenue. It may spoil your whole management system because investors will not invest uh, in you. They will invest in your revenue only. So they will corrupt your business. They will corrupt your startup until you grow yourself into an unsustainable one. So I had never approached it to government. So to waiting for it. So it may also possible by next day itself.
Wonderful, wonderful. Rahul, when you mentioned about, you know, working without investors, trying to reach a level, uh, did you do some analysis of the startup market to understand this, or it was something that was a part of your instinct?
No, I had analyzed that. Even Flipkart is the best example for that, right? Now Sachin and Denny has just 2% of shares on that Flipkart. Entire shares has been bought by Walmart. That should not be done. That should not happen in my company because if someone who holds 40% or more than 51%, they are the decision makers. They will be our decision makers. We can't able to make our own decision. And one more thing, we are the only one who are charging lowest commission in B2B segment in entire India. Even Amazon and Flipkart are charging about 18% and moreover 10 to 12%. I don't want to increase my commission rates to my sellers. Uh, so I don't want to get any investors inside, and I don't want to get collapsed by this.
Rahul, I feel so uh, nice to be sitting here talking to you, because I always have emphasized whenever I have taken my sessions with my students that, or wherever I have taken sessions, please do your research. Please do your research. It's so very important. And I have seen this lacking in well established firms too. Okay. But seeing a young boy like you, I call you a boy, right? A youth like you, going into so much of depth of research to sustain your business. I think if we have another 1 lakh people like you, India will be ruling the world.
My next biggest aim to be get collaborated with Tata groups. So they have been in market for more than 200 years, right? They had created their first automobile sectors in India. They had created their first cancer, free cancer institute in Mumbai. They had created everything in the first segment. None of them are experienced. Even nowadays, I'm seeing a lot of young entrepreneurs that they are saying that I'm that they are having an idea and they are waiting for some experience. Experience is not so much worthy in this decade. So every information we can get in our smartphone. So why are we waiting for that experience, right? So so I just even Steve had not experienced before they are creating their first Mac. Even Microsoft, they're not. You see, in around the world, there are so many lot of people who are not experienced. One day they have been successful. So this is what.
Interesting, interesting. And you have made my point more and more clearer. So, Rahul, uh, when you are conducting these research, are you using technical support for analyzing the market, or are you using the already existing material, or is it a combination of both?
So the information wherever we get information is information. We should not separate that, right? So I will not separate. Well, I will validate that thing that the information is correct or not. That's what I will do that only. So I will not separate that this information is valid in this sector or in this sector. I'll not do that. I'll just validate this whether this information is correct or wrong. That's it. And I'll get that information and I'll put it to my group, WhatsApp group with my colleagues and my teammates, and we will have that into an entire day session, and we will discuss about that. And only we will discuss about that in our lunch breaks and coffee breaks, as like chit chats. So from there, some creativity will be occur, and we will do that.
Well, so my last question will be at the fag end. But, before my last question, I'll have QA with the audience. My second last question is how fierce was competition with the big giants? Even though you had Make in India with you, how fierce was the competition?
So I don't get so much of fear of them because they are traveling in different sector. Because there is no exclusively Indian products e-commerce sites in India. That I think so. There is no competitors for us right now. Amazon is selling multiple imported products, and Flipkart are doing that. Even Alibaba is doing like that. And still now, we are not just worrying about our competitors. We just want to move forward. So we are not turning around and seeing who is running with us. Just we are going. We are seeing that ribbon which is in front of us.
So now I open the forum for all the participants to ask questions. So please unmute yourself. If you're not able to unmute, kindly put your question in the chat box. I'll ask the question. Yes, participants. Okay, Mr. Sanjay Raghavan wants to ask how your startup helps students. A very important
Uh,
question.
yes, how a startup helps students. Moreover, it will not help students. It will help those who want to do business. If you, whether I can say that you are an automobile engineer. If you are an automobile engineer, if you want to import or you want to export your manufactured product to some new markets, at that time we will help you to make in India or only Indian.
Okay, okay. To add to this question, I'm not adding to your answer. I'm just adding to the question. So the question that I have is, how would your startup help students in mentoring?
So, so even I'm mentoring about 20 to 25 students right now, and so I'm open to all. Even I can drop my mail ID or my contact details so in chat box at the end of this session, and anyone who want to so be be with us, and you can contact me at any time, and you can clear your startup doubts, and I can able to mentor you. Even my coordinators, my colleagues will mentor you if I was not available. Uh, yeah, I can do.
That's wonderful because now my ears are ticking and I know whom to approach to in case of mentorship if I want to, and there is a
So
need.
I'm not grown that much for in mentoring sector. Just in this this much I can able to guide.
No, Rahul, the skill that you have, the qualities that you have as an entrepreneur, it's not just the field in which you are specializing. Uh, your your journey has been so uh, inspirational that sharing it with students uh, of a younger generation can build their mindset towards becoming an entrepreneur, towards becoming a job provider. You see, so don't think you're small because your experience has been very big. Okay, at least compared to them, compared to me, right? Okay, we
Thank you.
have another question by Mr. Naivedya Agarwal, and he is asking you, how can Indian products become more compatible in global market?
Uh, yes, Agarwal, and nowadays Indian products are started to rule the entire world. Even we can see that even TCS, Infosys are started to rule the entire in the internet market, and now Tata Motors had started to rule in EV sectors, and they are starting to export their EV vehicles to moreover 120 countries within next 25 within 2025, and the world started to accept Indians. Even we can see that lot of CEOs, uh, even for Microsoft, Google, Sundar Pichai, are from Indians. And even before a couple of months ago, Elon Musk has tweeted that uh, Indians are more capable than we think. So it's next decade will be Indian products and Indians. So that's the vision, and even India has started to ban some imported products from China also, and so I think so before 6 months India had stopped. India had banned toys manufacturers from China, and that made a massive change in toys manufacturing, and within 6 months, moreover, 120 major industry has started their toy manufacturers in India. So by this, we can able to see that next decade will be ruled by Indians and Indian products.
Wonderful, wonderful. Any other question? We are entering the very, very last phase of our session. So, any other question? Please unmute yourself and ask the question or put it in the chat box. To add to this, Mr. Karan Sharma is asking you a question. How did you set up a distribution network?
Uh, that was also so simple. Just I used social media influencers. Through that, in lockdown, everyone has used that social media while they are ideal. So at that time, we had made that decision that we should use that social media influencer, and through that we had connected, and through that with a lot of startup community we had created that distribution network. Even now we had meet current that they are asking about distribution network. If you share your number, we can establish a new distribution network at your area. That's
That's very encouraging. Now, I think we are almost in the last 5 minutes, and here comes my last, not a question, but a request. What will be your message to early stage startups?
um, not only for startups, for youngsters who are not still started their ideapreneurs, right? Uh, so please start as you much you can, because just a moment. So I got that data here, but I can't able to publish here. So sorry. Okay, start your startup as much early you can. Better it should be in between to 20 to 25 years old. In between that gap, because some startup models will not give revenues, instant revenues at your early stage. Minimum it required about 3 to 5 years to generate a regular revenue flow. So you should start as much you can, and make a backup plan along with your startup, which is ideal for next 3 years. So because anything can be happen, as we seen now with this pandemic has changed the entire startups and communities and entire startup models. A lot of new startups which is occurred by the end of 2020 are now unicorn company due to this pandemic. So please start as soon as possible. This 20 to 25 is a golden period for you guys. So it will not get uh, right off.
So here we have Mr. Rahul, who is so optimistic towards India ruling the world with only Indian, right? Yes. So here we are entering the last phase of our coffee. I think we all are on the last sip of our coffee, and I wish that we have many more Mr. Rahuls in the coming few years so that his vision of becoming the best and leading the social media, the e-commerce segment become a reality. May he become the Amazon of India. So,
So I don't want to be an Amazon for India. I just want to be an Indian, one Indian made for India.
no, it's just company which has become biggest. I'm just saying that as Amazon became the biggest, may you rule Amazon too in the future.
So
Is the wish
wishful.
from my startup yatra.
Thank you, and so I wish your words would be get as soon as true.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rahul, for spending your valuable time here with us. I know 1 hour in the time of a young entrepreneur who is doing so many things, creating and developing so many things in his organization. It is a huge investment. And we value your investment at my startup yatra. And I hope all our participants today have got the energy from the coffee that we had with you to come up with new zeal to perform better in the days to come. Have a wonderful evening ahead to all of you. Have a wonderful weekend, and let's begin a new day soon.
And thank
Take
you,
care.
guys, and thank you, ma'am, and thank you for this wonderful Indian-made tea coffee break. Thank you for this session. Thank you, guys.
Thank you to all. So, with this, we end our today's coffee break Saturday. Have a wonderful weekend. Have an enthusiastic weekend. Let the business in India flourish. Let more startups come in and build India to become the leader of the world. Thank you.